Hello everyone. In this video, I'll explain about linked list and will also explain how we can implement a linked list using C programming language. So before going to the program part, let me explain you what is linked list. So a linked list can be defined as a collection of objects called nodes that are randomly stored in the memory. A node contains two fields, data stored at a particular address and a pointer which contains the address of the next node in the memory. So the last node of the list contains the pointer to the null. So you can just think about the game of treasure hunt, where you start by looking for the first clue. When you find it, instead of having the treasure, it has the location of the next clue and so on. So you keep following the clues until you get the treasure. So similarly, linked list is also a collection or series of connected nodes that contains the address of the next node. So each node can store a data point which may be a number, a string, or any other data type. Now the linked list operations. So just like stack and queue, here also there are three basic operations: insert, delete, and traverse. So for the insert operation, you can add elements to either the beginning, middle, or end of the linked list. Again, for deletion also, you can remove elements to either the beginning, middle, or end of the linked list. And traverse function simply displays the content of a link. So next, let's see how insert operation can be done. So first point is add to the beginning. So we can add a node at the beginning of the linked list. So for that, we allocate a memory for the new node. Then we store the data and change next of the new node to point to head, then change the head to point to recently created data. So from this figure you can see when we add a data, then we just remove the head pointer and just connect it to the recently created node. Next, you can also add an item at the end of the linked list. So for that also, we need to allocate memory for a new node. Then we store the data, then traverse to the last node, and finally change the next of the last node to recently created node. So when we add a node at the end of the linked list, so the last pointer which points to the null will be removed, and then that null pointer will be connected to the recently added element at the end. Next, we can also add element to the middle. So for that, we again allocate memory and store data for a new node, then traverse to the node just before the required position of new node, and change the next pointer to include new node in between. So when we add in the middle of the linked list, we just remove the header from the location we have chosen and then connect that pointer to the newly added node. Next is the delete operation. So just like insertion, we can delete from the beginning by pointing head to the second node. Then to delete item from the end, we can just traverse to the second last element and change its next pointer to null. Then to delete items from the middle, we need to traverse to the element before the element to be deleted. Then change the next pointers to exclude the node from the chain. So these are the basic operations. So we are going to implement these operations in linked list using C program, and we will see this in the next video. Thanks.